Hard with a sweet one bliss. Someone flicks me a bad body. So, it's another one, yeah. It's a full strong, yeah. Oh, it's another one, yeah.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm Neutral, and you are watching Hard Talk on iBoxingHub in partnership with our sponsors, D-Rock. There you go. Check out the website and the exclusive range and help yourself to 40% off using the code iBoxingHub24 in the code box and enjoy 40% off all your purchases. As I said, I'm Neutral. This is Hard Talk. This is Hard Talk UK. I'll be dropping the link down for you guys into the comment for you. Well, my producer will in a short while. And you can join me and ask any questions that you've got regarding tonight's show. So, yes, UK British heavyweights. 2021, we had two heavyweight champions in Tyson Fury and AG, and now we don't have any. Has British boxing come to the end of its dominance in the heavyweight division, or is it just a case of let's wait for the new guard? They're coming through strong. The likes of Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce had that week ago. There's the four champions, British champions in history, along with a couple of others that are true legends by now, according to their achievements. And we have been enjoying a heavyweight purple patch in Britain for the last 9 years. So, in effect, our run has come to an end. But we've got some new blood coming through. Obviously, you all know the likes of Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois. Joe Joyce is a wee bit older now, 38 years of age. How many fights he's got left, we do not know. And then, obviously, young Daniel Dubois, he's got a fight coming up soon enough. Is he going to be the one to take over the mantle? Or could it be that young Moses Atuma is going to be the next torchbearer at heavyweight for the UK or Great Britain? So in that sense, we've got a lot to look forward to, a lot to discuss tonight. We also have Fabio Wardley. We also have Johnny Fisher to come through as heavyweights and see what they can do on the international scene, on the world scene, on the championship title scene. All this is to come. Have you got the confidence in them to take over the mantle from Tyson Fury? I don't know. This is what you're here for. Come up, give us your thoughts. Or if you not want to do that, drop them in the comments. We'll go through them as we do. There was the ex-king. Now he's been replaced by Alexander Usyk, the undisputed champion of the world. There it is, that iconic picture of the ex-undisputed champion that Britain had. 25 years he had the crown. 21 years he was retired. And since then, a couple of others have took over the lineal belt that had to be started of new. Jam's Boxing Chat. I was just going to ask you if you think Moses Atuma will become the youngest world champ ever, as he has until May 2025. Very possibly, Jams. Very, very possible. He's already, I believe, an intercontinental champion, which more or less gives him the next fight for an interim, I believe. If the WBC goes between Hrgovic and Dubois, could Moses get the winner before then? Very possible, very possible. But it all depends on how quickly they want to get him to that level. Big up to Green Diamond Boxing for coming through. Check them out on a Monday night on iBoxingHub, or is it Tuesday, for classic interviews from our fellow colleague Aisha, and great content there for all you to check out. As we were saying, we have a few heavyweights that can come through. Are you are you confident that they can take over the mantle? Drop your comments down there before. Much love to the 505. Love you very much. Don't forget, you can check me and all the Bantam and Boxing crew at the 505 Watch Party next Saturday, June the 1st, for the 5v5. How it rhymes? I can make a rap. 5v5, 505. You got to be there, or everyone's alive. Whatever it is, get yourselves down there. There's a few tickets left. Join me in the gang. We're going to do the watch alongs. You have fun. So much to do. Massive, massive event. And yeah, we'll all be there cheering on our favourite boxers on the night. And the main event is Big Bang Zhang versus who's that guy again? Deontay Wilder. The Big Bomb Squad is back. Let's go. Can't wait to see him back. And yes, next week we'll be doing the big commentary for that as well. And check me out tomorrow night, guys. iBoxingHub yet again for the Jack Catterall versus Josh Taylor. Big match tomorrow. There's the big fight. There it is. In Leeds. I can't wait for that one. It's going to be emotional for me. If you want to check that out and see me lose my shit, that's what you need. You know, it's good stuff. It's all tremendous. So, yeah, come through. Andy Bonds, happy weekend, everyone. Happy weekend to you, Andy. I hope you have a cracker. Let's go. Big up, Neutral. Thank you, 505. Big up, everyone in the chat says jams. Let's go. If you want to come through, there's that link. It's at the top of the page in the comments section. Come through, and we'll have a discussion on this. But I'm going to start, first of all, with the recent event of Tyson Fury losing his WBC belt to the one true greatest champion of the 21st century, at least, possibly in Alexander Usyk. I will not leave you alone, he said to Tyson. And did he keep his word? What a fight. Round 9. I'll never forget that round as long as I live. May that be many years to come. But we were all treated to a classic. You know, the last time an undisputed bout was had between Vitaly Klitschko and Lennox Lewis, it was nowhere near as good as that fight. All right, he got cut and all that. People saying Lennox was done, but round 5, he ended it, and it was nowhere near as good as this fight. This was a classic that I commentated on last week, and I'll never forget that as long as I live. So, Tyson, is there a way back for him? What does he do? Rumblings are being that he doesn't fancy the rematch. Well, do we listen to rumours? Some are true, some are not, but it's a wee bit early to think that Tyson Fury may retire, but it is a possibility. Usyk is pound for pound #1 in the world for me, Neutral, says Jams. Goes above Inouye and Bud now after this win and the 2 AG wins. Mate, I can't disagree with that. It's pound for pound greatness. He's jumped up. Well, now, there's no Bridgerweight when he jumped up, but, he's jumped up 2 divisions and become an undisputed champion at both attempts in 22 fights. Anyone with a better resume, can you throw it at me? And we'll discuss it. But at this moment in time, Alexander Usyk is probably one of the greatest fighters, heavyweights, that we've ever seen. Certainly in living history, and certainly in living memory for me. Because Lennox Lewis was great. This man's just unbelievable. He had everything that Lennox lacked. He never got beat. He never got put down or knocked out. There he is, crowning the king. That's an iconic picture. Keep that in your heads for a long time to come, because there won't be another undisputed for many a year. But let's concentrate on Tyson Fury. I'm so intrigued. Is he moving on to Joshua? after this? Will the money be there for a massive fight? There's nothing on the line. I don't know. You tell me. Drop your comments. Come through. No, excuse me. AJ now comes into the fray. He's got the waiting game. He's got the Hugovic, Daniel Dubois affair to wait on. And he's still got to wait on whether Usyk is actually going to hang on to the belt, because he has petitioned the IBF to keep a hold of his belt to defend it in the rematch against Tyson Fury. So that leaves AJ still out in the cold for any ambitions of a belt in 2024. Unless the good Turkey Al Sheikh, who sat next to the great AJ there in Saudi Arabia, was he whispering in his ear, listen AJ, if Usyk wins this, why don't you go for a third match? I don't see AJ turning that kind of opportunity down. This new Mark II anti-Joshua. If you agree, drop your comments in the links and below. Come through. Can't say it enough times. There's questions to be asked. There's opinions to be displayed. Let your emotions go with this one, because we'll not have another discussion like this about the next generation. Who is going to be the new king? Because it's Daniel Dubois. Hashtag recall justice for Dubois. He knows what I'm talking about. Good luck for him in York Hall tonight. Is Daniel Dubois the one to take over number one? How long will he hold it for before somebody else wants to come along, like Dillian White? Still 35, 36 years of age. Although he's come back, Derek Chisora is slightly older. The old guard, they haven't got much life in them yet. Joe Joyce is also getting into that category. Too old, too slow. So we need to look to the younger generation. We need to look at Daniel Dubois. Seriously, we need to look. Moses Atuma, Johnny Fisher. Anyone else you care to mention? Can you? Fabio Wardley. I was waiting. Nobody said it. Fabio Wardley. Is he the next guy to build all our hopes on? His shoulders. Heavy lies the crown, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't pity the next British heavyweight with the media number one after the likes of Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury have gone to the hills of retirement and Meadow Lane and all things fluffy. Now, Daniel Dubois, let's look at him first. He had a great showing against Usyk. For me, thrown far too early into a guy like Usyk. We can all agree on hindsight that he should never have fought Usyk that early in his career. But it is what it is. He's judged. The jury's been hung out. And they've come back. And they've judged him as, you're not that good, are you? No. That's a wrong thing to say to big, dynamite, Daniel, devastating, destructive Dubois. Big up Rico, he's a big fan. And I know why. Because Daniel Dubois, technically for his age, is, let's see, he's doing a far better job than Jared Anderson. God bless his soul. He's only 23. He's doing a better job than anyone else in America, including Jermaine Franklin, who's a lot older, a lot more experienced in that sense. So I'm not too worried about the opposition coming from across the pond, but I am worried about the heavyweight opposition from Eastern Europe that will dominate heavyweight boxing if we're not careful. If we're not careful, they'll dominate. And who knows when the last time you'll see another belt? Because Usyk, for me, still got good two, 3 fights in him. If Fury retires, that will make him retire, but I don't see that just yet. He's obviously still working on that euphoria from winning that fight, and no doubt, and no blame attached. I would do exactly the same, but it all depends on Tyson Fury. Jam's Boxing Chat. I was surprised Joe Joyce beat Daniel, to be honest. Zhang shown the way to beat him, but a fight with Joyce and Chisora is a joke, in my opinion. A lot of people are not happy with that fight. They seem to have, ideas that maybe it's a dangerous fight for Ward Chisora. There he is, big Del boy. Oh, Del boy. So Joe is the fitter of the two for the ages that they're at. Joe is probably still got more about him and fighting wise, whereas Derek relies on pure heart. Obviously we all seen what happened to Derek against Tyson Fury. It was embarrassing. Another fight that should never have happened, but it is what it is. We move on. Daniel Dubois has opposition, a lot of opposition, to be British number one. So does a fight between Daniel Dubois and Fabio Wardley excite you guys? Because where does Fabio go from here? He's British and European champion. Is he going to, who's his boxer? Are they going to be able to get him into a position of a world title fight? And in the meantime, who wants to see Daniel Dubois, Dynamite Dubois, versus Fabio Wardley? I would. Because that's an even better fight for me than Big Frazier. And look what Big Frazier done, bringing that magnificent response to the fight with Fabio. It was brilliant. And I think he's the one more likely to be successful. However, Daniel seems to be the one that gets the chances. Now, when he gets his chance against Hrgović, we'll see. Hrgović is a very, very dangerous boxer. Now, as Zhang said, I was surprised to see Jam said, I was surprised to see Joyce beat Daniel. I wasn't. Joe Joyce on his day can knock anyone out. But he needs to line you up in perfect symmetry, and he hasn't got the speed for that. Welcome to the show, Adebayo, and to my good friend. Oh, and we have Ellie Archback in the studio. Adebayo, how you doing, big man?
Yes, neutral. Can you hear me properly, actually?
I can hear you, mate. I can hear you.
Perfect. So sorry about the lateness. Just
Not
having
a problem.
some tech issues, to be fair. But I was listening in. So I'll let you carry on with your British heavyweight predictions.
I wasn't getting to the predictions just yet, my man, but I was just outlining maybe a one or two possible fights there. Adebayo, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Yourself, neutral.
Yes. I love your office, by the way.
Thank you.
Uh, Mate, you're a handsome boy. It's 5:05. It's just said there. Uh, Mate, I could bring some
You know what I mean?
competition to the table here. Anyway,
Go,
Ellie
go, go, go.
Archback, you're in the studio. What you got to say? No, you're not there. Listen,
Okay.
Ed. Let's talk about the new guys, right?
Yeah,
You got Daniel Dubois, and you got Fabio Wardley, and Moses Atuma and Johnny Fisher. These are the four biggest boxers, British boxers outside of AG and Joyce and Fury.
yeah.
What destiny
And white. Don't
holds?
forget about white.
It's Dillian in that younger age bracket that could bring them forward. I don't know, but let's take them four for
Okay.
instance, right?
All right. Listen.
And let's just assume that these four guys are going to be the ones because I
Yeah.
can't see anybody. I know Derek's in there, Dillian's still in there, Derek's still there, but I don't know. I just think he's a
I,
bit too old now. But who is going to be the one out of them four? Do you think that will be successful?
Um, in my opinion, I think it's too early for Moses to join this conversation. It's almost like, a similar conversation to the Ben Whitaker scenario. I think like, let the guy grow. He doesn't really have a lot of amateur like pedigree just yet. So I wouldn't try and rush him into a conversation at the moment. But we can talk more about Woodley, potentially Clark, I guess, and Dubois. And I rate Dubois fairly highly. I just feel is one of those fighters that lack the developmental fights in between. It's almost like he goes from 0 to 100 very quickly. There's no 0, 50, 60, 75. You know what I mean? Like they feed him like bin men, and then suddenly like they chuck him into world championship contention. You have to actually look at Frank when it comes to Dubois. Like he's actually looked after him well. He's got him the opportunities that's needed, and I feel like it's one of those things they feel like because every weight is a punch can really change a fight. So I think they've gambled on that aspect. And so far, I know it's only been once. It hasn't really paid dividends. I know he's fighting again next week against Ergovic. Personally, I would have liked to have seen him fight people around his levelish for a few more fights before chucking him straight back at the top.
Yeah,
But depend on where he is mentally and how he handles a loss. Let's not forget, like, I know, people are very high on the Gerald Miller fight, but let's not forget what happened previously to that. You get what I mean? You can't
yeah,
just say one fight has erased everything. It's almost like AJ fighting Franklin, and everyone's like, "Yeah, it's back now." No, it takes it. No, it takes a while. We still don't know what kind of demons he's fighting. Egovic does hit very hard, so we don't know. But in my opinion, I think Dubois is probably like the next up. I see Fabio in the conversation only because Fabio is that guy who's got that dog in it, if that makes sense. Like I
yeah,
feel like
absolutely.
Fabio probably doesn't fight with that much finesse, but it's just got something about him, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to take someone to like a fight with you, yeah, Fabio is that guy because he's gonna do anything, probably take a chair with you or whatever, and he's just gonna rough it out and get like a result. So, yeah, I'll be intrigued actually, depending on how this Dubois Egovic fight goes. If Dubois comes up second best, not the end of the world. I'd like to see him going there with the likes of like Woodley, which I feel like should have been the next fight they should have pushed
Yes,
for.
I said that too.
Um,
Yeah,
so yes, I think a Woodley Dubois that would be a great fight, wouldn't it? Like
yes,
um,
definitely.
Yeah, because it's just two people chucking punches, and it's a case of
Oh,
who's gonna land first and who's got the better chin. So Wadley's been chin checked a few times. Dubois has been chin checked, but hasn't really stood up to the test like that. But still young, so like I think like these guys, as long as they're not under like 28, 29, 30, I still count them as young kind of thing. So yeah, but the other two, I say take them out of the conversation for now. It's just Wadley and Dubois. Moses not yet. Way too early for Moses. And he was the last person we checked into this conversation. Sorry.
Johnny Fisher. Johnny Fisher.
Um, Jenna Fisher is just gonna be a fun fighter. Like, I like the guy. I just don't rate his skills just yet. We see how he gets on with Babbage, but yeah, I don't rate Fisher that highly just yet. I think like maybe like the English British level is kind of his level, and it will probably be one of those guys like a Derek Chisora. Eventually, I guess. So yeah, but I might be wrong, but he hasn't showed me anything more at
Thank
the
you, mate.
moment.
That's
So
brilliant.
yeah,
Welcome,
yeah.
Mr. Styles, all the way from Canada. ZZ Top's Canadian representative. How you doing, big man?
I'm doing good, Neutral. Thank you, thank you. Quick update for you. My uncle started chemotherapy, so started.
We pray
Yeah.
for your uncle, each and every single one of us in the iBoxingHub family and Bantam Boxing, and we send our loving prayers and hopes for your uncle and keep him in our wishes. Okay, pal. And it's
Thank
I
you.
Yeah.
thank you for coming here through difficult times. So you've been listening into the conversation, Mr. Styles. What have you got to say about the state of British boxing after the likes of AJ and Tyson Fury, Daniel Dubois, and Fabio Wardley? Are they good enough to take over the mantle?
Well, you gotta think. Dubois is a former heavyweight champion in the WBA, a regular WBA heavyweight champion. Before he fought Usyk, he knows what it's like to hold one of those titles at that status. He knows what it's like to, carry that mantle, carry that burden, that pressure to be a heavyweight champion. We haven't really seen quite yet what Fabio has done. I would like to see. This is why I say I would like to see Fabio maybe go up against the likes of, say, a Joseph Parker, for the interim title to see if he can, compete with these elite level guys. And because you look at the guys that Dubois' face, he just before this 5 versus 5 fight, he's coming off of fighting Usyk for the unified title. So this guy's fought. He deserves to be in that conversation for sure. And I think he can definitely carry the mantle, but for British boxing. But I mean, he's still got a lot more to prove. I mean, I would like to see him after this 5 versus 5 event. I would like to see him maybe fight a Joseph Parker or Joe Joyce, just someone that is or a Big Bang, even just someone who can move him, or even a Deontay Wilder. You never know. But
But if he's successful, sorry, mate, if he's successful against Hudkovic, that's one belt under his unless the IBF let Usyk keep it. But let's assume it's for a belt. No, just for this theory. That propels Daniel into a very good position
oh, definitely
for an undisputed fight. This is what I'm saying. He gets the chances, but
no, and that's the thing. He definitely does get the chances. And that's the thing. Like I said, he's already been at that level where he's held like a world title for the WBA. So if this is his fight is for the IBF title, and if Fury Usyk want that undisputed title fight rematch so badly, well then Usyk's gonna have to fight Daniel again in a rematch, and then unify the titles, and go on to fight Fury and then retire afterwards. Because honestly, I don't see Usyk having anything left to prove at this point in his career. He's done it all. I mean, so
I agree.
for
I
Denver,
agree. If Fury does not want the rematch, it would be auspicious time for him to retire.
I
You know,
don't
because
see.
at the end of the
I don't see.
day,
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. I just don't
uh,
see Fury not wanting to. Like, I see him taking some time to prepare mentally or whatever, get his stuff together before taking that fight. But I don't see him not walking away from wanting to get another crack at becoming the undisputed champion for British boxing, and then because then again it sets up an even bigger talk in our conversation with him and Joshua.
well, yeah, obviously the British fans want to see that. The promoters want to see that. Obviously, they've got pound signs in their eyes, even without belts. It's a British must-see fight.
Yep.
No, when the time comes that both Usyk and sorry, not Usyk, Fury and AG retire. I mean, AG, I can still see him going on for another four years. Can you see that, Adebayo? 4 or 5 years for AG, or will he cut
For
it shorter?
AJ, no
Yeah,
chance. I think AJ's probably got 2 years, probably
two
3 at
years.
the stretch. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
think like right now, he really doesn't care about like all the other heavyweights at the moment. I think his sole priority is 3-time heavyweight championship. If if he gets the opportunity to fight for the undisputed, he's probably going to take that chance. But I think once he's fought that, like fought Fury, fought for the undisputed, probably fight Usyk again. I don't think he cares after that, really. Like you say, like he's made so much money already. I don't think he would want to take any unnecessary risk, especially because he gets in too many close fights, like in terms of level of opposition. Because I think if he's gonna fight anyone else outside of the two that I mentioned right now, then he's probably going to still have to fight another top 10 heavyweights. And, those pose their risk as well. So I guess, the only time I see him fighting probably like a Egovish or Dubois is if they're owed a strap. Like, um, aside from that, I don't see it, to be fair. So I think I give AJ 2 years, 3 years max, 2027, 2028 if we're lucky. But 2027, I don't see him past that point, really. So,
Um, I tend to agree with you on that one. 3 years would be a stretch, I think.
mm,
Based on he'll have the assumptions after Usyk retires, which is obviously going to be before AG. He's going to have in his head, there's no one else, so
exactly.
he could move on to the yonders of retirement. Quite there. We got a question from Jams in the boxing chat. Where, in your perception, does Solomon Dakras have a part to play in the British heavyweight scene? Let's go with
Funny
you,
enough.
Mr. Styles.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Solomon, I'm not too. I'll be honest. I'm not too familiar with a lot of his fights. But where's his record currently stand at? If to just to
Let's have a quick. I think he's still unbeaten at the minute.
Yeah,
So
it's still undefeated. He fought for the English title last time out. It was a very, very close fight. I can't remember who he fought again, but yeah, the level of opposition he fought, he should be
yeah,
putting them away, and he struggled. Like he just about got the decision, to be fair.
so
yeah.
why doesn't he fight someone like a Clark or a
I believe he
Fabio?
will do. I believe
It will do.
he's only 1 or 2 fights away from that. Yeah. Oh, David Adderley, he beat last time
Oh yeah,
um,
that's the one.
on points.
I mean, because if he wants to be taken seriously and be looked at, and again, put in that conversation of being like the next great star in British boxing, then fight these guys who have gotten like the levels of Fabio, of a Clark, and then go on to like, you know, at least making, and then go on to the fight, to the conversation where you could like throw your name to the hat with likes of Joe Joyce, Joseph Parker, all these guys, to at least put your name into that category of being the top guy, the next big star in British boxing. Because like I said, at the end of the day, if you want to be taken seriously, not just in British boxing, but just in boxing in general, you got to take these fights that, you know, are going to help you get to that next level. They're going to you got to take these risks. Otherwise, at the end of the day, step aside and let someone else who wants this opportunity, who's hungrier, and give them that shot if you don't want to take that risk.
Yeah, I
There
think
you
that's
have
what he's
it,
doing next.
Jams.
He's fighting David next. He's fighting David next, Neutral. So
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
um,
so yes, I'm
yeah,
looking at the wrong thing.
yeah, yeah. He's
Yeah,
fighting David next. I think he fought Michael Webster. That was a very close fight.
that's it. In Manchester, that was the one.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah. So David Adelaide is a massive step up from Michael Webster.
yeah.
That's for standard. But that would be a great fight. In all honesty, I can't wait for that, and that'll give us a clue as to obviously where Solomon's going. But for now, he's only English champion. We've got to give him time to come through to see
Neutral,
how good.
can I ask you a question, Neutral?
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, so you heard about the upcoming fight between Joe Joyce and Derek, correct?
Yes. There it is.
Yes. What's your take on it? Do you think it's like, are you really interested in seeing that fight? Or is it kind of like, I don't really care too much about it? Like, where do you see, like, where does really the winner go from here? And like, do you think the loser of this fight is contemplating retirement?
Well, you got two guys here that obviously don't know the meaning of I don't love anything else but boxing. You know, Derek me personally, I'll go and watch the neighbours have a scrap in the backyard. I'd love to watch Derek Chisora and Joe Joyce fight. People are worried about Derek's health, especially after that last showing against Tyson Fury. I don't believe that. I think he's up there. He's ready to go. He'll battle with anybody. He's not even 40. Is he 40?
Yeah, but Neutral, like the problem here is like because of the style of fight, yeah, that
Yeah.
Derek tends to have, he takes in a lot of punishment, and that's what worries me. Like, I think,
Right.
yes, he cannot take food out of a man's mouth. I get that, but someone needs to protect him. And Joe Joyce, personally, I think should be ashamed of himself because
Wow.
he should be picking on someone else. But there's so many fighters Joe Joyce could be.
Pick on someone your own age and your own size.
But why should Joe
activity.
It's not Joe Joyce. It's not Joe Joyce's fault. I mean, this is the fight that was presented to him. If anything, blame the managers. This is the fight that they picked. And if he's just getting,
he didn't have to say yes. You know,
if I'm not mistaken, Derek Chisor's his own boss.
Yeah, and Derek didn't have to say yes either to this fight. I mean, if he wanted to, he could have, picked another fight or picked someone.
I understand the concerns, Mr. Styles. I really do understand his concerns as well, because, as I mentioned, there's people that are not happy with the decision that Derek has made here. However, what portion of risk are we giving it a realistic portion, or are we just thinking, if he takes one good punch, that's the end of it? Is that what we're feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I can see people feeling that, and that's understandable. But like you said, at the end of the day, unless these guys, these men and women who give their lives for this sport, they're of the mindset. It's very hard for them to walk away a lot of the times, and then it's almost to the effect of like, you're gonna have to drag my dead body out of here because I'm not leaving this ring. I'm gonna die in this ring. I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, look at like for example, like this month, Heather Hardy was supposed to make her bare knuckle boxing debut. She pulls out of the fight, and only then to say that because of her years in combat sports, because of brain damage, she can't fight anymore. She was forced into retirement. So I can see why people are scared for Derek for maybe that particular reason. But at the end of the day, look, he's got people to take care of. He's got mouths to feed. He's got a family. Look, at the end of the day, he's also of that mindset that look at the name on the top of his hat. It says war. This guy's always ready to go to war, but at the end of the day, he's his own man. He's got to make that decision for himself. And unless you're willing to physically drag this man out of the ring yourselves, he's not gonna stop fighting.
I get that, right? But my only concern is there are better alternatives, especially in this day and age of influencer boxing and all this other kind of boxing. Because you see, you're comparing influence. Sorry, but you're comparing influence boxing to look, the influence boxers. I'm sorry, I can't take seriously. I can't take these. Like, if you put one of those guys up against Derek, he's going to destroy them. He's going to destroy them. And plus, who would you pick as a better alternative for him to, like, in the later stages of his career? Like, who would be a better choice for Derek to fight at this point? I mean, if we're saying, because, according to Fury, the reason they fought Chisora then was to give him a good, nice payout. So they sold out Wembley or wherever they fought, Tottenham, I can't remember. I think it's Wembley.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he must have made a lot of money from there. So if this is about money, I'm just saying the safer option is to go for like a gimmick fight that's just an exhibition. Like he would have, he's been doing a lot of that anyway. So like,
what about Mike Tyson? I mean, Tyson's fighting again. I mean, Tyson's fighting someone like anything. I'd rather see Tyson versus Derek. I mean, Tyson's can still go.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. That's not a real fight. It's still, I know they're claiming it's a real fight, but let's face it, it's still gonna be like a chill exhibition kind of thing. Like I'm not saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying for Derek, I mean, no, I'm sorry for interrupting, but I'm saying if we want to pick like a fight like at the later stages of his career, why not put him against replace Jake Paul and then put Derek in there against Mike Tyson? That would be a hell of a fight. That would be a hell of a fight for them.
No,
I mean, if that's not...
sorry,
I just think Joe Joyce is just that wrong option.
You're feeling he's too dangerous for Derek.
Yeah, that's why I just think Joe Joyce just I just don't know. Like I like Derek. Like I don't want to see Derek in like 5 years.
Yes,
like stumbling to speak on his. What's that new show that he does? Delicious whatever thing that he's doing. Like, what I mean? Like, I don't want him, stumbling on his words and stuff and going, like, guys, like, I get it, but how much is he really gonna make against Joe Joyce? Joe Joyce is not really a big ticket seller anyways. Like, how much is this fight in general gonna generate?
But that just goes to enforce the narrative that Derek just wants to fight. He'll take any money that's given to him. That's the sorry, Mr. Starr. That's the danger that is assigned to this fight, is the fact that he could be risking his life for a shot. Not very much money. Mr. Stiles, you were saying.
Well, Jams just pointed out the reason why also Joe Joyce is even taking this fight because he needs to get his confidence back because he lost 2 straight fights to Big Bang for the interim title, and so a fight with someone like the likes of Derek could help him get into that confidence level. Okay, and if that's the case, that's fine. Like I can understand that for Joe Joyce, but for Derek. And like we said, like at the end of the day, if this is like a money grabbing thing, the guy's even on OnlyFans for crying out loud. I mean, if he wants to, even go that route for like money wise, I'm just saying, I wouldn't want to see it, but I can understand if he goes even that further route. He's on the site. He's a paid sponsor, so he's getting. It's not like he's not getting paid from that site, but at the end of the day, if this is really about, if we gotta understand, we gotta ask, is this about money or is this about the competition? If this is about the competition, then okay, Joe Joyce makes it's a hell of a competition fight for him. But if this is about money, someone needs to really step in here and be like, no, we don't want you risking.
Would a better fight been Joe Joyce versus Dillian White?
Nah, Joe Joyce versus Otto Wallin. If we're talking about getting the confidence back, right? Give him Otto, like at the end of the day, because Otto ain't got no fight lined up anytime soon. So let him fight Otto. Otto's not gonna knock him out. You know what I mean? Like it's probably gonna try and outbox him, but that's a confidence builder.
That's a perfect fight for Dillian White. I would like to see that fight, and the winner of the Dillian White, in this Joe Joyce fight, why not put then the winners of those two in that together? I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that fight, but at the end of the day, I would like to. And then who knows? Maybe someone could even go on to fight Joseph Parker for the interim title. I mean, and to the point, real quick, we talk about Dubois' fight possibly being for a vacant, IBF title. I'm just curious, when is Joe Joyce going to get his shot? Because he is technically an interim. He's a champion, but it's an interim title. But when is he going to get his shot? Like, what fight next does he need to get to put him into that level?
That all comes under the complications of the sanctioning bodies and whose turn it is to have a mandatory. But as we all know,
I think it'd be Joseph Parker if he's got an interim title next to his name. I would say it'd be Joseph Parker. Just like when Dillian White was the interim WBC champion, like and Tyson Fury was going back and forth. Dillian White got his crack finally after losing the title and then getting it back. He finally got his eventual shot at the title. So at the end of the day, I'm sorry, but it's like. But still, like at the end of the day, like whoever got these interim belts, give these guys and these women their shots, because I'm tired of seeing everyone jump the line and you see, and that's why I've always said about boxing. I can't stand this about boxing. I see more interim champions in boxing than I do in any other combat sports. I am tired of seeing it. Like I see the interim champions defend their belts more than the actual world champions. And look, I get it. It's a money.
It's gateway belts. Gateway belts. Yeah, that's what they are.
I mean, look,
Mr. Styles. Sorry. I need to move on from this. There's another segment on the show, and that is the upcoming Battle of Britain fight tomorrow night in Leeds, the rematch.
Yeah,
the heat runs deep.
Oh, God.
You've seen the press conference.
that photo tells it all with the grabbing around the throat.
Yeah, you've seen the shenanigans. You've seen the hatred firsthand.
Yeah.
Right. First and foremost, I want to play you a clip from our good friend and colleague of the iBoxingHub family.
We're starting at 140. Are we expecting you then potentially after this fight to stay at 140, or would you look at 147?
We'll see what happens. We'll see what the lay of the land is after the fight. We'll see what options are there. I'm comfortable at 140. I've got a great team around me. I'm doing it properly this time. I was doing the weight cut. I was doing the cuts all myself beforehand. Before I was with this team, I was doing it all myself. Now I've got a nutritionist on board. I've got a guy, a doctor in sports science and nutrition, who's been in with me with the university, taking all my body compositions, taking all my bone density, my muscle, the fluid that's in my muscles, my body fats, everything, and making sure that I can make the weight well and safely. And the last 2 times I've been on the scales, I've made it very comfortably, and I'm very comfortable today. So, yeah.
There you have it. He was cutting weight himself in the 2 fights that he's had last, Jack Carroll 1 and Teofimo Lopez. He's now got a team. You've seen him at the weigh-in. Are we going to run into the dangerous waters of assuming repeat or revenge? What do you guys think of Josh Taylor now, after you've seen that clip and the knowledge that he's had a fantastic camp and will be in the best shape of his life coming into this fight. Addy.
I'd say, Josh looks healthier than his previous fights. To be fair, like it looks well good. It does no normally has that like very sunken chin, and I feel like this time around, obviously from the weigh-in, from the interviews, I'm like, okay, this guy didn't struggle to make this weight, but it kind of like begets the question though, like for a champion of that caliber, why would you wait until now to get the professionals in? It screams very unprofessional to me in a sense, but if it's coming up good, then I guess you would have to ask yourself the questions like, does he still have demons from the last fight that he won, but people say he lost, and from the fight with Tio that he actually lost? Like, if he's able to kill those demons and bin them, then it makes a very exciting fight. Come the weekend. I think personally, I still think it's a 50-50 fight. I just think Jack hasn't been active enough. Like, we've already seen in the last 12 months the importance of activity, and how
Yes.
that plays, a big part. Since that fight, he's only fought once, right? And, it's almost like, it was kind of like feeling sorry for himself. Like, you don't do that. Like, yes, the result didn't go your way. He could have had gimme fights or whatever fights just to keep that momentum going on, but he's only had one fight, and the fight wasn't anything to shout home about. This is his World Cup final, and I feel like because there's so much pressure on him in this fight, that might work against him because he's keen to show. It would, I mean, like, would that mean it would chuck the game plan out the water? I don't know. So this fight is a complete pick 'em to me. I think, like I mentioned yesterday, that I didn't really care for it that much because what is the purpose of this fight? The moment is gone. It's past. It's 2 years. Like, I think they're still living in the past. Like, get a move on already. So whoever wins is whoever wins in this fight. I give Taylor just the edge, just because he's done more in the game, and it could be that he had a bad night on that day. It was a very close fight. I know, yes, we were screaming robbery, but it wasn't a complete whitewash, basically. So yes, I think Taylor will probably turn up. So I will edge him by 5%, so 55-45 for me. When it comes to
Thank you,
that
chap.
fight.
Thank you, mate. Mr. Styles, what have you got to say on my Scottish brethren tomorrow night taking or coming with his Tartan army to Leeds to invade? Do you think
So-
we'll see repeat or revenge?
Well, real quick to add on to I'm sorry, I didn't how do you say your name? Like I didn't.
Ade, just say Ade.
So just to add on to his point, he said when Taylor said that he just is now getting in the nutritionist, now getting in, I'm like, and why are you waiting this late into your career? You were undisputed world champion. You should have had that before you even became undisputed world champion. You should have had all these guys in your corner to help you get to your. And look, I get fighters, they want to do a lot of it themselves. They don't want to show, but if you want to be at that elite level, you gotta treat your body, you gotta treat everything very extremely well at the end of the day. And you can't wait to like, oh, I've already been this far deep in, I'll just keep going. Or then I lost 2 big fights, and I'll just I just don't understand why you'd wait this long to get to that. You should. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, I feel like for Taylor, he says he's comfortable at 140, and okay, fine. But I would really think, I'm sorry, at this stage, I would like to see him move up to 147 after this fight. And I would think for Taylor, he's going to put a statement into this fight. I mean, because with all the talk Jack was doing after their first fight, the guy willingly gave up his titles at super lightweight just to shut Jack up again to get to this rematch. Before the Teo fight, this was before he's giving up his titles to give this guy this rematch. And he's like, listen, if you want this rematch, fine. I'll give it to you. We'll go again. I'll even give up my titles. We'll go again. But I feel like Jack, he's just focusing. He's just harping too much on that. And look, that could be a good thing, or that could be detrimental to him. But at the end of the day, I feel like Josh Taylor is going to walk away with the win once again. And after that, move up to 147. If Jack somehow gets the win, then I could see him make the case to fight Matthias or Liam, the winner of that fight. Are they at super lightweight? I just want to be sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like to see if Jack wins. I would like to see him make the case to fight the winner of that fight. But for Taylor, he wins, goes up to. I want to see him go up to 147. If he can make 140, still okay, fine. But realistically, I think his power could help him better, and he would have a lot more power in his punches if he could go up to 147. He could pack a lot more into that. So I would say either by decision or
you'd see
by
win
decision
or
or
lose.
TKO.
Yeah, right. So win or lose, Josh should go up to 147.
Yeah, win, lose or draw. I feel like he's got nothing to prove.
That.
He's got nothing to prove. He's got nothing to prove at super lightweight. The guy's already been undisputed champion.
That's true. And just to answer AD's point about demons and that for Josh, Scots don't do demons, mate. Right? We don't do demons. Right? Anyway, we'll move on. Listen, guys, we're coming to the end of the show. I want to thank you two guys for coming on, right? But in association with D-Rock Apparel, and guys, once again, in the audience, check out the website, exclusive range, as worn by the greats, Johnny Nelson, Joseph Parker, my good friend Jams. There he is. He looks great in it as well. 40% off, iBoxingHub 24 in the promo code for all your purchases. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming along. This has been Hard Talk. This is boxing. Take it away.
It's another bang. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. I start my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flips me a bag by